Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get back on the channel. Conor Adaway, and he's back out fighting Joe Callea March 9th in France. And yeah, good delighted to get you back on as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate.
Anytime. And before we get into the Luke Fash fight, y your original opponent, Paris, we'll just go on that because we'll be here all day otherwise. Paris pulled
Yeah.
out with an injury, was it?
Um. Well, yeah, he said he had COVID about a week before. Not too sure what happened, but yeah, he said he had COVID. So yeah, they had to draft in Luke quite quick, to be honest with you.
Mm. But yeah, I mean, at least you got an opponent, and was it a bit relief? I mean, when your opponent pulled out, I mean, you've had some cancellations recently, so was there a bit of panic when he pulled out?
Yeah, obviously, you know what my luck's been like with like shows being cancelled and things like that. So when he pulled out, or obviously that would have been another camp that I would have had to go through, where I didn't end up fighting at the end of it. But to be fair to Johnny and everyone, they managed to sort it out quite quick. So yeah, it was good.
And you had Luke Fash. Uh, you did get around for TKO, but talk about the fight. I mean, you got put down. Was it round one or two?
Round two, I got put down. Yeah, yeah,
Because round one, you were sort of in cruise control, keeping him at bay with your jab quite well. And yeah, I mean the knockdown was a bit of a maybe you had your hands down, he just caught you. Would you say it was a quick flash sort of knockdown?
yeah. Do you know what it was? I was like the first. You watched the fight and the first round. Kind of, I was just coasting, to be honest with you. And I was at him to the body, and I knew I was at him because he was making noises every time I landed it. So and he wasn't really throwing much back. So I guess I just got complacent in the second round, and yeah, he just let one big right hand go, and it served me right for maybe underestimating him.
Mm. But in a way, were you hurt with that shot when you got put down, or would you just thought
No,
he's
like
just
to
hit
be
me
fair, like
flush here?
connected well, and it was obviously hard enough to put me on the floor. But the second I was up on my feet, I was absolutely fine. To be honest with you, I had my legs underneath me straight away. I knew he was going to come at me a little bit, so I
That was
let
his
him.
downfall in a way when he
Yeah, he ended
went
up just
looking
walking.
for it.
Exactly, he ended up walking on to everything I had. Really, I had, and to be fair to him, I had to hit him with every shot in the book to get him out of there in the end. So yeah, he's a tough bloke, and to stop someone like Luke Fash, yeah, I was really happy with it at the end of it. Apart from the knockdown that happened to me, obviously.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, overall, you put him down, I think, maybe twice before we got back up, and then the ref said that's enough. I thought it was a good call because, yeah, you were throwing the body shots really got to him because I think the first one you saw him sort of wince, sort of, didn't you?
Yeah, like I said, like when I was in there with him, every time I landed it, I felt like they were landing sweet, and yeah, he was making a few noises in there. So I thought they're definitely connecting well. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. I mean, it's a big statement, stopping Luke Fash, even though the knockdown, um, is not to plan. But it happens in boxing sometimes. You get caught
Yeah,
cold with a shot. It teaches you not to get complacent when you're so
hundred
comfortable in the
percent,
fight, and you've
hundred
just
percent.
got
I'm not funny. I had a year out the ring, and yeah, I maybe got a bit greedy. I was enjoying myself in there. I was genuinely like having the time of my life in there.
but
I
that
was
woke
having
you
such
up a bit.
exactly,
Not
exactly.
that you should have needed that wake up call. You should have just been on the ball. But I mean, the main thing is you've
Yeah,
got him out of the way. I've seen you've been having a bit of back and forth sort of after that fight. The day after you had a bit of back and forth with mainly Ash Lane, but Lewis Roberts as well, sort of.
yeah. I mean, just being an idiot to be honest with you, mate. I don't know what his problem is to be honest. Like he claims I've called him out. I've never called him out. I got his name was mentioned to me in an interview, and all I said was we'll fight him. And took that the wrong way, and now yeah, he had a good opportunity to give me a bit of shit from the knockdown that I got from Fash. But at the end of the day, like I know I'm levels above Ash. Ash knows what will happen if me and him got in the ring together, and if I'm honest, I've sparred Ash. I sparred Ash when I was a kid, and
Mm.
I got the better of him then. I think to myself, what I'll do to him now. Yeah. But fair play to him. He's got the balls to call me out on social media. But let's see if he ever jumps in the ring with me. I don't think he would.
Yeah. Of course he's got the British title fight against Bork. Thoughts on that fight?
I think Borg hammers him. To be honest with you, I think Chris Borg absolutely hammers him. And I don't know where Ash goes from there. I mean, like whatever happens in our career, at this point, I'd love to fight him no matter what, whether he had a title or not. No matter where my career went, I'd love to fight him just to shut him up, pretty much.
Is there bad blood between you or just business?
Well, like I said, I've always been alright with Ash, to be honest with you. But then he starts talking shit on the socials. I've never really talked shit to him. All I said was I'll fight him, and he started talking shit. So if he wants to be like that, I've got no problem. I've got no problem being like that myself. And for me, it's nothing personal. I just think I'm levels above him, and yeah, I'd happily get in there with him.
It's sort of like wouldn't it be sort of a local derby sort of thing if you two fought?
Well, yeah, I think he's up sort of Bristol sort of way. So yeah, not even 2 hours away from me. So even halfway, you got Exeter. So I'm sure we could both sell a lot of tickets for that fight.
Mm. Um, but yeah, so you think Chris will beat him comfortably, like stop him, or
Yeah, I think he probably stops him. Yeah, yeah,
I think it's a good fight.
yeah. I just think there's levels to the sport, and I think Ash has overachieved already. To be honest with you, I think he when he fought Jordan Parkis, he caught him with a big shot, and I think Jordan stayed a bit hurt the whole fight from that point. To be honest with you, but
That was a good
realistically, is Ash?
performance from him, though.
Yeah, it was a good performance. I won't take that away from him, but I don't think it was the best Parkis in there. To be honest with you, but and I'm not Ash thinks I'm discrediting him. Like he has won good titles, so I can't discredit him. I just do think he has overachieved. Right place, right time sort of fights.
Mm. What about that Lewis Roberts?
Yeah, if I'm honest, I haven't got a problem too much of a problem with Lewis. There's been no. I've mentioned his name a few times just because of where he is ahead of me at the minute. I haven't got a massive problem with him, but he does not want to fight me. I've tried getting that fight. I've called for it. I've mentioned his name, and he never takes the bait. He never bites. I just don't think he's interested. To be honest with you, I don't blame
Mm.
him either.
But yeah, you've got your fight. You've got a good opponent in Joe Catalina, is it? Kalina?
Joe Callea, I believe his name
Kalea,
is
sorry, who's 10-1. I mean,
ten
big
and
step
two.
up, 10-2.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, big step up, and that's what you wanted because you was meant to fight that Paris, and yeah, you just want to go up and this is your first real, no, like you know what I mean, but another
It's
big
the first
test.
big fight since the Frimpong fight, and
Mm.
in a way, it's a good thing I had that fight with Fash just to get the cobwebs off and brushing up my defense. Oh, sorry, I thought off then. But yeah, like the fight got offered to me, and I'm all about taking 50, on paper 50-50 fights. Um, and at the end of the days, probably double me in the rankings. So I thought it's a great opportunity. I believe I'll win, and I believe I'll win well. So why not take a trip to Paris, get a win, and come back, and then hopefully later on, maybe even midway through the year, push on for titles.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a coincidence. Your last opponent was meant it was called Paris, and now you're fighting in Paris.
No, I'm fighting in
Nice.
Nice, not Paris. I'm fighting in France, but yeah, no, I get it. Same sort of thing.
um, yeah. Of course, your opponent's 10-1. Is it his home show, and how many rounds is it?
Yeah, it's his home show, and it is a 8 rounder.
Oh, 8 rounds. That's good.
8 rounds, yeah, yeah. No, and that's what I want to be doing. I want to be doing the longer rounds.
Hmm. Yeah. So how does it feel going into the lion's den again?
Yeah, it's good. And you know what? I always say because no, obviously I had that fight with Hong, and I think when I look back on it, it's probably going to be the best thing that happened to me. I think when I fought Lewis, I think maybe the occasion did get to me more than I thought it would. But now I know what it's all about. So there's no fear in me now. And again, if I fought Lewis Frimpong at this point now, I think maybe I do think I'll beat him. You know, I think yeah, maybe the occasion got to me on the night that day. But everything I've learned from that fight, I'm taking into this next one.
Hmm. Of course, yeah. Fighting in a different country for the first time. How's that?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's what being a professional boxer is all about. I guess is like seeing these new places, and it's what I live for. You know, like you say, going into the Lions Den is what I live for. There's no feeling like it. So I'm buzzing.
Hmm. They'll boo you on the way in, but cheer for you on the way out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. What do you know about him? Of course, he's got those two defeats. Do you look into those two defeats?
Um, Not too much. I have watched the fights where he's been beaten. They come on, let's look at his record. They were both two-step up fights, and he lost them both. So I don't really know what level he's at, but I know he has boxed for. I think it was a WBC youth title. I don't know if it was a world title
Did he
or
win
a,
that one
no. He lost. He lost.
on points?
Lost on points. Yeah.
Good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. The lad he boxed was quite good. It was an Albanian kid. I can't remember his name, but he
Mm.
was good. But again, he also lost to someone who was 9 wins, 2 losses, and I watched that, and I've watched obviously both fights, and I've also watched some of the wins as well. And yeah, although I'm going to France, and I have got to make a statement fighting away from home. I feel like I can make that statement.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, So, do you feel like because you're both sort of lost your first sort of 50-50, but you're back in there, and I'm sure maybe the winner of this will be in line for a title. I mean, surely.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the way I see it. Obviously, he's boxed for WBC and Intercontinental titles already. So if I'll beat him, then it puts me in that position. You know, don't know if it'll be my next fight. Really, I want to go back to the domestic scene in
English.
England. Yeah. I'm sort of looking
What
for the
about the
English.
southern area? Is that seems vacant?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't know what. I'd really depends who's about. I've asked plenty of people to fight me for the southern area, and I don't think
I
anyone's
mean,
keen on
people
it.
like
So
there are maybe I don't know local bantamweight you would be fighting at for the southern area.
bantam or super bantam,
Yeah, Martin
either one of them.
Hillman's bantam, Ben Lilly, who fought.
Yeah, see, I can fight
Yeah.
all them guys. Yeah. I'm up for fighting all them guys. It's just, I guess it's just getting in contact with them and trying to sort the fight. It seems like no one wants to fight me in this country. That's why I've had to go off to France. You know what I mean?
Mm. I mean, how did the fight come about? I mean,
Yeah. I think my brother seen someone um looking for a fighter at my weight on Facebook. To be honest with you, and yeah, he just gave him a message and said like, I'm sure like I'd be up for it, and yeah, they offered me it straight away. So yeah, literally came about like that.
hmm
Simple as that. Much easier to get fights away from home.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, of course. First, do you know if this is getting sort like live streamed or somewhere you could like people can
I
watch the
don't have a
fight?
clue. I don't have a clue. I will look into it, and if I can find it, then I'll post it on my socials.
Hmm. Do you feel like do you guys are you guys main event? Do you know what time you'll be on, or you'll find that out when you get there?
Yeah, I think we are main event because obviously I'm not 100% sure, but I think because it's not on box rack, is it? Like, it's not on
No.
box rack yet. So I think what it is, it's in the way they do it is like pro am shows. So I think an amateur show on, which main evented by our fight. Do you know what I mean? I
Mm.
think we might be the only pro fight on the card, and we'll be on at the end, and the
Yeah,
rest will be
surely
amateur
if
shows.
it's an amateur show, then surely you'll be last on.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. I don't know because I know his brother's a professional as well, and I think they fight at the same time sometimes. So I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'm sure we will be the main event.
And how does that feel main eventing again, and in France as well?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's where I feel like I should be. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm at a stage in my career where I want to be in the biggest fights, and the biggest fight should be the main event.
Hmm. Do you feel like this is going to be your hardest opponent to date, and are you prepared to go the 8 rounds? And of course, do you feel like you've got to go over there, really put it on him from the get-go, due to the fact, we don't want no dodgy home decision, if we've seen that quite a bit quite recently in boxing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I believe Lewis Frimpong was probably my hardest opponent because he was so tough and so strong. From what I've seen of this guy, I don't think he's as tough as strong as Lewis, to be honest with you. But yeah, I definitely think to get a decision out in France, I've definitely got to make a statement, whether that's stopping him or just hammering him for 8 rounds, either. But I can't be letting it be a close fight.
Mm. Do you feel like, of course, there's people saying, "Oh, it wasn't a great performance last time out." Do you feel like this time you've got to sort of make even though a statement was against Fash, but do you feel like this is a fight that is going to put you back into the likes of the Southern area, the English, the sort of titles that you want to be looking for?
Yeah, definitely. Say like if you look at the world rankings, actually above Lewis Frimpong, and if I can beat him, then technically I should. I don't know how it works on box track, but I would go above Lewis. It's almost like I've skipped a stage. Do you know what I mean? So it puts me right back in the mix, and yeah, I just feel like it pushes my career. It pushes my career on.
Do you believe you're above area level?
Yeah, definitely, no doubt about it. Although I fell short against Lewis, I think maybe me and Lewis are both above area level, and I think really you could see me and Lewis in British title fights. Do you know what I mean? The fact of the matter is, no one wanted to fight either of us at the time, so we fought each other. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I came up short on the night, but it's only made me a better fighter now.
Absolutely. And is that thing? Would you run it back in the future if it was at maybe super bantam, or would you not go up to super bantam?
Yeah, I guess I get along with I actually get along with Lewis and Andy his team. But yeah, I'd love to put that wrong right at some point. But Lewis is getting a bit old now, so he might be retired by the time I get there.
Mm. Um, is this fight a bantam or super bantam?
Super Bantam, Super Bantam, yeah,
Is that the other guy's natural weight?
yeah, that's his natural way. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but you did say that super bantam and bantam's like where you'd be fighting at, even after the Frimpong fight, you said super bantam or bantam. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's more my natural weight class. To be honest with you, I just seen an opportunity against Lewis where I thought it's worth a risk, but it obviously wasn't in the end because looking back on it, I genuinely thought there was no way Lewis would beat me, and yeah, he definitely humbled me in that sense. So yeah, super bantam and bantam are definitely my weight classes.
mm. Um Well, so if any opportunities like this one, come about for titles at Super Bantam, could we expect to see you fight at Super Bantam if opportunities are there?
Definitely, mate. If like whoever, the fact of the matter is, I've struggled to get fights. I've offered fights to everyone, and no one seems to want it. So if there's opportunities there, I'll take it.
Hmm. What do you think's like a harder, I would say more like a harder division? Like what do you see more competitive? Domestic scene at bantamweight or domestic scene at super bantam?
I think you'll have to go super bantam. I think obviously, is Dennis McCann? Is he super bantam?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Dennis McCann, obviously Brad Strand, Liam Davies. These are all, well, from what I've seen, they're all like pushing on world level fighters.
Who have
Um,
you got between McCann and Strand anyway?
I think McCann beats him. I do think McCann beats him, but I know Brad Strand's a great boxer. He was a great amateur, and I know he beat Liam Davies a few times in the amateurs.
Did he?
Um, yeah, he did. So it shows how good of a boxer he really is. But I think McCann might be just a bit too strong for him in the pro game over the longer rounds. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad fight at all. I don't think you can write Strand off completely.
Mm. Yeah, it's a good domestic scene, and of course, I know Balut is not British, but he's a good domestic fighter sort of as well.
Yeah, he sort of they always fight him when they're up and coming, don't they?
Yeah, Baluta,
Yeah.
he's good.
Well, he got a great win against Andrew Kane,
Kane.
didn't he? Yeah, and Andrew Kane, in my opinion, Andrew Kane on his day is probably one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
Although he lost that day, but I think he broke his hand. Um, he's a machine, to be honest with you, Andrew Kane.
What, so do you feel like Super Bantam's the harder sort of domestic scene to get yourself in because they're all sort of piling up for in queue
Yeah,
for British, and of course, there's another Nico Lavaz who's fighting Peter Merger.
yeah,
That's on a matchroom show in March.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Obviously, me and him are part of the same management team, so I don't see why we can't get that fight on at some point.
Oh yeah, because you're both with Lee Eaton.
Yeah, we're both with Lee, so yeah, me and Nico, we both lost at the same stage in the ABAs at the semi-finals in the same year. So I think maybe that might be a good fight to get on in the future.
Mm. Yeah, there's big fights out there for you, but of course, full focus on March the 9th, not looking
Yeah,
past nobody. And yeah, what can we expect from you March 9th?
yeah, you can just expect either a knockout or a complete dominant performance because yeah, like I said before, I can't afford for this fight to go close. Being an Englishman fighting against a guy from France in France, I can't let it be close. So yeah, just a dominant performance.
Hmm. Good stuff, Connor. And before I let you go, as always, do you want to thank manager, trainers, sponsors, just the usual people you want to thank?
Yeah, obviously, just like you said, all my sponsors, yeah, they've been amazing. I couldn't actually continue my pro career without them. So they're a massive help in my career. All my trainers, everyone, friends, family, my missus, literally everyone. It's yeah, thank you.
Hmm. And from me, mate, thank you for your time as always, and all the best on March 9th.
Thank you, Sam, mate. See you later on.
Bye, mate.
So.